Welcome to Tech Blueprint, a window that lets you know the latest technology news in the world. When Trump wants to raise the stick of sanctions again, he should perhaps look at the latest data from the General Administration of Customs of China. China's chip exports exceeded $1.14 trillion in 2024. This figure not only means the bankruptcy of Western technology blockade, but also marks the historic turning point of the global semiconductor industry. Foreign media commented, "In this technological war without gunpowder, China has used its independently innovative, silicon-based Great Wall to tear open a ray of light in the chip iron curtain, carefully constructed by Washington." The script of the US chip war against China is playing an absurd black humor. Since the implementation of the fourth round of sanctions in 2023, this so-called precision strike has evolved into a triple backlash against Western technological hegemony. The first to bear the brunt is the technological backlash. When the United States banned the export of EUV lithography machines, it did not expect that Shanghai Microelectronics' 28nm lithography machines had already won 90% of the domestic market share when restricting the supply of DUV photoresist. Nanjing University of Science and Technology's RF photoresist production line is replacing imports with a monthly production capacity of 3 tons. This reverse growth of more blockades and more breakthroughs forced ASML President Wenning to admit, China is becoming a new variable in the field of lithography machines. The second is market backlash. Behind the $1.14 trillion export volume, Yangtze Memory has captured 38% of the global NAND flash memory market. Sanctions Memory's 19nm DDR4 chip has caused Samsung's memory stick price to drop by 27%. And SMIC's 55nm chip production line is running at full capacity. These made-in-China chips have not only squeezed the market share of Micron and Hynix, but also put American companies such as Dell and HP in a dilemma of using Chinese chips or abiding by sanctions. The most fatal is strategic backlash. The latest assessment report of the Pentagon shows that 43% of the mature process chips used in the US military's active equipment are from Chinese companies. This absurd reality of arming oneself with opponent chips has made Raimondo's so-called national security threat theory an international laughingstock. As NUFA, chairman of the Semiconductor Industry Association of the United States, said, "We are not containing China, but accelerating the cultivation of the strongest competitor." The rise of China's chip industry against the trend is by no means the miracle of the national system speculated by some Western think tanks, but a history of innovation and breakthrough full of Oriental wisdom. When the West is closely watching the advanced process below 7 nanometers, China chooses to build a base in the mature process of 28 to 55 nanometers. SMIC's 55nm production capacity accounts for 32% of the world, and Huawei Semiconductor has won 46% of the market share in the field of automotive chips. This path of using the market to support technology allows China to take the lead in realizing the independent control of the entire industry chain in the field of mature processes. The installed capacity of Huawei's Hongmeng system has exceeded 800 million units, forming the world's largest independent intelligent terminal ecosystem. BYD's self-sufficiency rate of automotive-grade chips has reached 92%, building a core ecosystem for new energy vehicles. The explosive growth of these application terminals has provided a $1 trillion trial field for chip design companies. The second phase of the National Integrated Circuit Fund has driven a 1:7 social capital leverage, and the Yangtze River Delta Integrated Circuit Science and Technology Innovation Corridor has gathered 60% of the country's chip companies. This market-led plus strategic guided, collaborative innovation model is incubating a group of hidden champions, such as China Micro and Tuojing Technology. The strong rise of China's core is triggering the plate reconstruction of the global semiconductor industry. 3 sets of data reveal this quiet revolution. In terms of geopolitical structure, the proportion of chip production capacity in mainland China has soared from 12% in 2018 to 28% in 2024, while the US share has shrunk from 19% to 14% during the same period. This curve of growth and decline announces the end of the era of East Asian semiconductor hegemony. In terms of technical standards, the RISC-V open-source architecture alliance led by China has exceeded 800 members, and 56% of the world's RISC-V chips are designed by China. This breakthrough in the underlying architecture is shaking the foundation of ARM and x86 dominance. In terms of market structure, the localization rate of China's chip equipment has jumped from 7% in 2019 to 35% in 2024. The etching machines of North Huachuang and the MOCVD equipment of China Micro have entered TSMC and Samsung production lines in batches. This reverse export marks that China has begun to master the pricing power of key links in the industrial chain. On the journey of China's chip industry, there are still Lushangwen and Laziku that need to be faced. On the bright line, EUV lithography machines, advanced processes below 5 nanometers, EDA tools and other Everest-level difficulties still need to be overcome. However, the first 28 nanometers lithography machine delivered by Shanghai Microelectronics and the 14 nm EDA tool chain that Huawei and domestic manufacturers have broken through indicate that the pace of climbers is accelerating. On the dark line, global semiconductor equipment giants are quietly adjusting their strategies. Applied Materials has established the largest overseas R&D center in China, and Lam Research has transferred 40% of its spare parts inventory to Suzhou bonded warehouses. These voting with feet business behaviors are actually strategic bets on the potential of the Chinese market. Looking back at the historical node of 1.14 trillion, this chip breakthrough war has left China not only with technological breakthroughs, but also with the upgrade of strategic thinking. First, it proves that the old logic of market for technology is a thing of the past, and only independent innovation can break through the stuck-neck dilemma. Second, it reveals the essence of industrial chain competition in the era of globalization 2.0, not a contest between individual companies, but a confrontation between industrial ecosystems. Third, it shows the core rule of future technological competition. Whoever masters the application scenario will have the leading power of technological iteration. While Trump and others are still racking their brains for the increase and decrease of the sanctions list, China's chip industry has quietly completed the strategic transformation from following to running side by side. The export volume of 1.14 trillion is not the end, but the starting point of the new long march. Those Western politicians who are pessimistic about Chinese chips should remember, in the field of semiconductors, which is full of quantum leaps, today's pursuers may be tomorrow's leaders. As a Chinese engineer wrote in the Yangtze Memory R&D log, every nanometer of progress is the most powerful response to the blockade.